What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today's video, I am going to be talking about Marvel's Avengers. We're doing a little review for it, and I want to go ahead and say right off the rip, I want to thank today's sponsor for this video being SquareEnix, who was goodly enough to give me a copy of this game. And mind you, they got me a copy of this game early enough that I could test it out a few days before launch. So want to give big shout outs to them for hooking this up and making this video possible. Once again, we are going to be reviewing this game. I'm going to be telling you what I think about it, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, all that entails right now. But first, wash your damn hands and let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Before we get started, if you want to see more awesome comic book videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click. So let's go ahead and address the main thing a lot of people have been talking about with this game since the beta came out. This game is a lot more than just a multiplayer game. Now, yes, if you played the beta, you didn't get to play any of the story mode except for the opening part of the campaign, which was A-Day, and apparently that was only just a smidge of that section of the game. When I booted this game up, I was immediately starting the game off playing as Kamala Khan, seeing everything from her perspective, all the stuff that was going on for A-Day. And over the course of about roughly 30 minutes to an hour, then getting into the game itself proper. This game is very cinematic. It is very deceptive in how cinematic this game is. Like, you would immediately think, oh, they probably just slapped some stuff together, maybe threw together a smidgen of a cutscene here, a crumb of a cutscene there. That's actually not the case. They actually did a really good job putting this game together almost as if it were any other AAA game. And I really enjoyed that. I love seeing these characters interacting with each other, seeing the villains interacting with each other, seeing the fallout of A-Day and how the voice acting in this is just elevating this to the next level. We got voice actors like Nolan North, Troy Baker, we got Laura Bailey, Darren DePaul, Jeff Shine, Travis Willingham, and Sandra Saad. I mean, we have a lot of really good voice actors in this. And I definitely also want to say shout outs to Usman Ali, because he did a fantastic job as MODOK. But everyone in this is doing a very good job. I'm very impressed with it. But just the same, getting into it, yeah, the campaign, it is going to take you about anywhere roughly between 12, maybe 10 hours if you brute force it, or maybe longer. I don't know. Like, I can definitely say that when I played this on stream on my Twitch channel, which by the way, twitch.tv/Blerd without fear, that in the 6 hours, almost 7 hours that I streamed it, which I actually scratched a fair chunk of the surface of the game, but was nowhere near completing it. Now, of course, you can get to the multiplayer aspect of this game. The multiplayer works just as great as it does in the beta. The thing that you really want to look at with this is that, yeah, you are going to be playing submissions over and over again. You are going to be wanting to bump up the difficulty on those missions so that you can get better rewards over and over again. I mean, this is an endless game. It's a games as services. So yeah, you are going to see some things more than once. But that said, this is the best way to play the game. The best way to play this game is with friends. I can't say enough how much I enjoyed this game, especially, the campaign itself, fantastic, but also playing this game with friends, it takes it to a whole other level. Crystal Dynamics is making you yourself feel like you are an Avenger, like you are one of the Avengers who is on the field of battle and surrounded with other Avengers. It's a great feeling. Now, there are some caveats with that, is that you can't have more than one instance of a particular character. So you're not going to have 3 Captain Americas. You're not going to have 2 Thors. You're not going to have a whole team of Kamala Khans or a whole team of Hulks. Only one person can play any one of those characters. So you kind of got to make some agreements on who's going to be playing who. That said, DLC that's going to be coming out down the stretch is going to kind of mitigate that, where we're going to have characters that come out that are very similar to characters that you already have. Hence why characters like Kate Bishop, who is supposed to be coming out alongside the character Hawkeye, who, she is also Hawkeye, but that is so that if more than one person wants to play a Hawkeye, you have two to choose from. The same thing goes for other leaked DLC characters like She-Hulk, Mockingbird, Winter Soldier. A lot of these characters are meant to be palette swaps of characters that are already in the game. Now, I will say I don't have very many complaints with this game. I will say I think this version of the game that I play, which the footage you're going to see in this video is coming from the PlayStation 4, and this is a regular, degular, schmegular PlayStation 4. This is not a PlayStation 4 Pro. This is a launch day PlayStation 4, a triple OG original recipe PlayStation 4 that was bought on launch day when the PlayStation 4 first came out. So there's nothing fancy here. I will say I think the game runs better on PC, but that said, I do believe that when we get this game on PlayStation 5, which if you buy the PlayStation 4 version, you will actually get a free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version, or if you're on Xbox and you buy for Xbox One, you will get a free upgrade to the Xbox Series X version as well. So that said, I think when it moves over to the next gen consoles, this game will run a little bit more smoothly, but I didn't really have that many problems. There were some texture pop-in issues. There were a couple of moments where some textures just didn't even load at all, but they were so few and far between that it didn't bug me at all. Another thing we probably want to talk about and address is the lack of diversity in the game. This is something that I think probably its biggest concern that gamers had about this game is that there was a very strong lack of black and brown characters in this game, where initially when we start this game off, you are going to be playing primarily as Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Iron Man, and of course, Miss Marvel, who is the only character of color in the launch version of the game. Now, that said, a lot of people are upset that there weren't more characters of color put on this roster. Now, one of the things I will say is that yes, the roster doesn't have a lot of diversity. However, this roster was meant to start off as small. As the roster grows, we will see more diversity. But that said, I do kind of find it egregious that there were no black characters who were front and center. Case in point, Black Panther, Falcon, or War Machine, who all of which are announced as leaked DLC. Now, we did just have a war table that came out, and Crystal Dynamics and SquareEnix did put out a statement at the beginning of that war table saying that they had changed their plans in the wake of Chadwick Boseman's death, which leads me to believe they were very possibly going to show off Black Panther, but decided to not do it because they didn't want to make it seem like they were cashing in on the death of Chadwick Boseman. So I kind of just am like, okay, that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I do want to say that yes, I do wish that they would have been a little bit more upfront with the diversity in this game. I do also want to point out there are no characters of Latinx descent or Asian descent on this roster as well. Though, I mean, maybe you could count Quake if they are going to make her more like her MCU counterpart. But even with that, there's still little to no representation, at least from the stuff we saw in the leaks and the data mines. But that doesn't necessarily mean any of it's true, but so far, a lot of it has been true. Now, one of the biggest concerns I think some people had were with the microtransactions and how DLC characters and expansions would be treated. Now, we have been told that yes, DLC characters and expansions will all be free, and that is 100% true. However, you will have to buy a battle pass for each DLC character in order to unlock all of their goodies and things of that nature. Like, so let's say when Spider-Man comes out for the PlayStation, no one is going to have to pay for Spider-Man or to play as him, but you will have to buy a battle pass if you want to unlock some of his more special gear and costumes and outfits and such, which I think is incredibly fair. Also, speaking of incredibly fair, I think the microtransactions in this game are largely innocuous. They are not really in your face the way we have seen in the past. In this game, they pretty much show up, they're there, and it's not that big a deal. You can either choose to pay to get them or just choose to ignore them. And honestly, if you didn't go out of your way to look for the microtransactions, you wouldn't be any the wiser that they were even there in the first place. At the end of the day, all in all, this game is fantastic. I love it. I'm having a great time with it. And once again, I just want to say that, if you have reservations about this game, if you're worried that there's not enough game there for you, trust me, there's plenty of game there for you. If you're worried about whether or not you'll be able to play with your friends, yes, you will be able to play with your friends. Trust me, that is the point of this game. This game was designed as a cooperative experience. Even the developers will tell you that yes, you can play the game by yourself, but it is preferred that you don't. And if you're worried about diversity and things like that down the line, then well, there are some things to hash out. But if the data mines are anything to be believed, some of your favorite characters will be coming sooner rather than later. If you looked at that data mine or that leak and saw that there weren't any of your favorite characters on there, don't worry, because those aren't the only characters that are going to be coming to the game. If the game is successful, you will probably see more characters. But I mean, we can't expect them to just tell us every single thing that, you know, they're going to do for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And the game, literally, at the time of recording this, I'm recording this on September 3rd, the day before the game comes out. They're not going to tell you all that, you know, their 8-year plan, their 10-year plan before the game has actually even sold a copy, you know, officially speaking. But anyways, let me know what you think about Marvel's Avengers if you have actually played it. Thank you to Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics for hooking me up with a copy of this game. Wash your damn hands and sound off in the comments.
So hey, you made it to the end of the video. Awesome for you. If you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I don't see how you didn't, do me a favor. Hulk smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers, and tap that bell so you know when I post up. Also, feel free to go check out my Patreon, where if you chuck in a buck, you can get early access to most of my videos up to a week early. And if you have time, make sure you swing by nerd901.com, where you can find more of my content as well as other amazing stuff. Anyways, until next time, I love you 3000 plus ultra!